When a new family comes on board with us, one of the first things we do is hand them something called a planning roadmap. It's basically a document that lays out the entire onboarding experience, what we've already done together, what today's meeting might cover, and what the next few conversations are going to look like. And the whole idea is that they always know where they are, where they're going, and why. No guessing or wondering what comes next. And what you're looking at is a sample version of one of these roadmaps. And the family on here, Alex and Jordan Hayes, are completely fictional. But the process is very real. This is what our clients actually see when we have our onboarding meeting. Now, phase one is all logistics. We want the accounts open, the transfers moving, and their financial junk drawer starting to get organized. We might open accounts like a rollover IRA or a Roth IRA or a joint investment account, high yield savings. And we do this first on purpose. When someone comes into a planning meeting and they still have accounts scattered a bit here and there, usually part of their brain is still on that. And sometimes we want to take that off the table before we go any deeper. And I think this also allows us to have a much more productive debrief in phase two, which is the onboarding meeting. The first real sit down after everything was in motion, things are starting to settle a little bit into their new accounts. We'll do a full debrief on the account transfers so they can see everything with their own eyes and feel settled about where things landed. We might look at an investment proposal or an investment policy statement. We walk them through the client portal, which will now be their new home base because that's where their accounts are going to live. And we want to be sure they can log in. We want to be sure they can deposit money, take money out, maybe connect bank accounts, find statements, button up some loose ends. We want them comfortable and confident that they made the right decision and that they're in the right place. And this is also when we will walk through this roadmap together. Now, phase three is a flexible one. And what I mean by that is it's not always on phase three. It might be phase one, depending on the client, because what I found is everyone is different. And we try to tailor our onboarding process to that person, to that family. For example, if a family comes in with a pretty clear financial foundation, things feel a little bit organized, they're not carrying a lot of this noise in their head, then maybe we get straight into this conversation and it's incredibly productive. But what I have found is that might not be what's best for everyone. Some families, especially the ones who feel like their finances have been a little scattered or unclear, it can be difficult to think freely when the foundation isn't there yet. You ask someone to dream a little, to think about what they really want, right? And sometimes they don't even know where to start, or they keep it very generic and high level. I want to travel. So for those families, maybe it is phase three, where we can eliminate some of this fog, build some confidence, and then get into this conversation when they can actually be present for it. So moral of the story is this isn't a template. Every roadmap we build looks a little bit different depending on who's sitting across from us. And for some, we may wait 2 years before we have this future vision conversation because they're just not ready yet. And that's totally okay. And before this future vision meeting, like it says, we're going to send over a short set of questions and exercises to sit with beforehand because those answers are then what we point our guidance toward. Money is simply the tool, right? And once we understand what it's in service of, everything that follows then has this reason behind it. It's like, look, we're going to be doing a lot of things behind the scenes. We're going to be managing a lot of things behind the scenes, but this is how we align everything. This is the alignment. We're just managing something a lot more personal than your portfolio. And then everything we do aims toward that. Phase four is where the financial plan starts to take shape. Saving strategy, how much goes where each month, what the emergency reserve or what I like to call an opportunity reserve target looks like, how cash flow actually moves through the household. Maybe we're going to look at life insurance or disability or umbrella. Maybe we set up a direct indexing strategy in the joint investment account that they're contributing to monthly. And because we did the vision conversation in phase three, the savings targets then mean something. They also feel a lot more motivated to get stuff done. It might just start as simple as, hey, you're overfunding retirement. You have two little ones at home. Let's start putting money in a bucket that's a little bit more liquid. Phase five wraps up the onboarding and bridges into this long-term relationship. We might do a full plan review. We'll go through everything together and make sure it's all working the way it's supposed to. Make sure accounts are titled correctly, which they should be. Beneficiary designations are updated. Estate planning, which is not anyone's favorite subject. Again, Rome wasn't built overnight, and we know this. This is why we continue to review this roadmap. Now they're feeling confident, clear, and have a real sense of what they're building toward. We are now a team for the long haul. They have access to us, our resources, our professional network. We're going to reach out if something is relevant. You won't have to chase us. If something changes in the tax code that affects your situation, you're going to hear from us. If a vesting date is coming up, you're going to hear from us. And again, we want to coordinate everything: advisor, CPA, insurance. So it's one team working together, not these separate conversations that never connect. So that's the roadmap. If you're an advisor watching this, feel free to take this framework and make it your own. The more intentional we all are about this, about the client experience, the better it is for everyone. And if you're someone who's looking for an advisor, I hope this gives you a sense of what a true financial planning relationship can look like. And we'd love to be that for you. And with that, if you are still here, grateful. Thanks for watching. Until next time.